changed, and that was forced due to the injury of Mushtaq Ahmed, the leg spinner. So Akram Raza, only been in the country 24 hours, and he's raced straight into action. So we pick up action in the first over. Wasim Akram bowling to Brian Young.
First ball of the test, Wasim Akram to Brian Young.
Right.
He negotiates that well. Me, I thought that landed outside the line of the leg stump, but Dickie Bird says that's out. You heard it. So New Zealand tragedy. Brian Young gone in the first over.
Well, Dickie Bird doesn't give them easily. We've got certainly going to hit the middle stump, isn't it? It's right on line. The question is where the ball pitched. Did it pitch outside the line of leg stump? If it did, it can be given not out. Dickie Bird says it pitched in line. It was going to hit. You're on your way, Brian Young. New Zealand in trouble right from ball 4 of the test. 0 for 1.
Jones plays a good shot through the offside. Mustafa does the chasing, and Jones settles for 2 runs. So the first run's off the bat in the test match. There's a loud nick, but he's given not out. It didn't sound like bat on ball. There was a nick, though. Jones finds the gap in the offside field again. Rahman has the chase, and 2 once again for Andrew Jones. He gets a slower ball. He's got some runs too, so Pocock's underway. He's got 1. Does he want the second? Yes, he's committed himself to the second. And so Blair Pocock squirts a couple, but that's his innings underway. In the end, and away from the fieldsman, and the first boundary of the test match, and I think he might have got a hand on that. It could have been a chance, and it's gone for 4 runs.
And there's the first runs from Wasim Akram at the end of his 7th over. Jones is picking up a couple and taking New Zealand to 15 for 1. Well, it's a good shot from Pocock, hitting it firmly past Bassett Ali. And 2 further runs to Pocock. He is 8. Well, it's a good shot from Jones, a lovely shot. It's a favourite shot of his. And he's hit that so well that it's going to go all the way to the boundary for 4.
A comfortably taken single, turned into 2.
There's a cry of catch-up, but that's going to race through for 4, away behind point. Andrew Jones going after that one, a little short and wide.
Really tough chance, but he struck it well enough to get through for 4.
Here's a dive from Mustafa. Loud appeal. Dickie Bird says no on this occasion. Still a very attacking field. And gets this one away behind square. It should be pulled in down there by Waka Yunus. They get a very comfortable 2, and I think that's all they'll get. Yes. That's the end of the over, 31 for 1. It pushes it out just a little wide of mid-on. They think of 2, and a bit hesitant with the running. We saw that in the last over. They settled for the 1. Oh, that is a beauty. It zipped back in the air and off the track. What a superb delivery.
This is an absolute gem of a delivery. It's pitched quite wide outside off stump, seen back in. It may just have clipped Andrew Jones's back leg on the way through, and that's what slowed it down, but that was a delivery of real pace.
And our first opportunity to see Akram Raza bowl in New Zealand. His first delivery is nicely turned away by Pocock, and they'll come back for a second run. Deflected again just behind umpire Dickie Bird, and 1 more run for Blair Pocock. There's an action replay, really. Pocock has another single. Good-looking shot from Jones. Well timed, and he could get a second run. Bit of slack fielding from Waka Yunus. And they do get 2 runs.
He had no trouble with the line that time, but Pocock certainly did. And the second wicket has fallen. Rahman is delighted. A bit of edge there, and Pocock has to go.
As we're seeing here, that ball drifting into the batsman, got an inside edge, just hit his pad first, then bat, and just carried on into the wickets. And here we were saying that his line wasn't right. He got one right, and the end result was very good for Pakistan.
So it's 40 for 2 now, New Zealand. This ball completely surprised Blair Pocock. He just seemed to lose it. Let's have a look from the back of New Zealand stump vision.
Which was almost as if it was just a lapse in concentration. I thought Pocock had been doing a very good job for New Zealand.
And he cuts well, does Ken Rutherford, to get off the mark. He hit that beautifully. Rahman continuing. And Jones and Rutherford are trying to carry New Zealand through until the lunch break, which will come in just 10 minutes' time. Rutherford looking for 2 there. Just being urged on by Andrew Jones, who's got his gloves off and probably doesn't want to get back to the strike before the lunch break. 2 completed. Rutherford is 7. Rutherford plays it very well, and Dickie Bird indicates that that will be over, and he pulls the bails, and so that's lunch at the end of the first session of play. And New Zealand winning the toss, batting first, have lost both openers, Young and Pocock.
Ken Rutherford on 7, Andrew Jones on 21. Rutherford facing. It's in the air, he's gone. First ball after lunch that Ken Rutherford faces, and he quietly guides it into second slip's hand, and he's out. What a tragedy.
Well, this happened in Auckland to Brian Young. First ball he faced after lunch, and this is a soft dismissal, really. Just a warm-up delivery, half-tracker, really, and Ken Rutherford's just sort of guided that straight into third slip's hands, and he's taken it. He's the new boy, Akram Raza. He's in action. Rutherford has gone. New Zealand now 49 for 3.
So the new man, Mark Greatbatch, out there a lot earlier than he would have wished. First ball that Ken Rutherford faced, and that was a fairly soft dismissal, wasn't it, Ian?
Well, there was no venom in this delivery at all. Very much a warm-up delivery. It came through very slowly, just wide of off stump, and Ken Rutherford, no conviction in that shot at all, and just guiding it. Slip-catching practice, really, and the Pakistanis were happy to oblige.
Oh, it's in the air. That was a little dangerous. He's off the mark, Greatbatch. It went wide of third slip Raza, and Greatbatch comes back for 2, but very unconvincing. That's a good-looking shot. That'll run away for 4. There's no third man, and umpire Dickie Bird signals accordingly. He goes again. He's got this one through. This will run away for 4 more. A little squarer this time, but same end result. Out in the middle, we're back in action with Mark Greatbatch.
Yeah, 2.
And turns this reasonably square. He'll pick up certainly 2, and I think they may get 3. Shoaib Mohammed, the new man, is after it along with Rahman. And a comfortable 3.
Greatbatch goes after this and plays a good shot. 4 runs. Greatbatch pulls this one away back from the square. That's 4 more. Hammered into the covers and through. Past Shoaib Mohammed. Nice shot by Jones. The captain, Saleem Malik, has the chase. And the batsman will consider a third and take that 3rd run. Hammered away, shot. That's another boundary for Mark Greatbatch.
Positive cricket here.
Oh, that was a Yorker and a good one too.
He's bowling to Jones. And Jones looking in very good touch now. He guided that into the gap. Went all the way along the ground for 4, but that was from the middle of the bat, just angled and taking the ball through to the third man boundary. And he's going short, and he's hitting it well, and he's kept it down pretty well. And it's into the boundary behind square leg, so Akram's got some thinking to do at the moment. And that's well up, the attempted Yorker. They hesitate and then complete the single, which takes it to 100 for 3, and Jones moves to 43. So Jones' innings is over, and Rahman has his 3rd wicket. New Zealand are 100 for 4 now.
That's a sad dismissal from New Zealand point of view. A good delivery, just cut back and hopping up in the air. Andrew Jones rapping the pad in front of the wicket, and Dickie Bird had no hesitation in raising his finger. Nonetheless, Andrew Jones played a very good innings, making 43. Having stayed there for 170 minutes.
So it's 100 for 4 now as Jones leaves. Great Batch plays a beautiful shot through the covers. Now, it's hit well. It's going to be hit enough to go all the way to the boundary, and the timing was perfection.
It's Waka Yunus back into the attack now in the first over after drinks. And Shane Thompson having to struggle, but gets there safely in the end. You can see it better from the side-on angle here. Thompson well onto the back foot and slow away. Here comes the throw-in, and we'll see just how close this is. That is something of an understatement, I think.
That would have been a 4 or 2 in it. Big innings from Thompson required for New Zealand here. There's a big appeal. Umpire Brian Aldridge says not out.
Oh, this is a big shot. Where's that going to finish up? It's down the ground, and I think Dickie Bird, he doesn't know where it's landed. We're not quite sure. Is he going to signal 6? He is. Well, he launched into that straight down the ground, Mark. Great batch, and he's hit 6 runs.
Well, it has to be a pretty good pitch to play a shot like this. This is just a lofted off drive. He's got underneath it and hit it straight down the ground. And the spectators are no doubt about...
No, they were certainly not.
And a thick outside edge will run away for 4. There's no third man down there. So 4 to Shane Thompson. And the boundaries are coming thick and fast.
Tony Blaine is next man in for New Zealand. New Zealand team will be hoping not too soon. Nicely timed by Great Batch. Outfield is pretty quick. And Wasim Akram, with some difficulty, hauls it back. Now here's Waka Yunus. Oh, that's a nasty one. And Great Batch struggled to keep it away. Let's have a look at the umpire to see whether, in fact, he hit it. Yes, he did. Might have come off the glove.
Yeah.
Nicely played by Great Batch. He stood up straight. And Shelb has the chase. And they get a couple. That's gone in the air too. And away goes Great Batch. Couldn't avoid the bouncer that time. Straight up in the air, taken by the keeper, and that's the end of Mark Great Batch.
Yes, well, this is the problem that Great Batch is having at the moment. See how that bat goes upwards. He ducks, winces, and has no control over where it goes, and it's been a good innings, nevertheless, from Great Batch. He's got 45 from 56 deliveries, and we saw far more control and class from him today. 126 for 5, New Zealand. This watch side on the Great Batch dismissal. Look at that. See wincing and the gloves coming through, the bat going upwards. So lost balance back, not able to control it. Although it's a natural reaction to try and look after yourself, you've really got to discipline yourself to stand up and have a closer look at it and try and punch it down in front of you if you can't get out of the way of it. But that's something that great batchers will work on, I'm sure.
Short run, and he's bowled him straight through the gap. Might have been a wee inside edge. It sounded a bit like it, but the end result is the same for Shane Thompson. He's gone. Akram has his second wicket, and New Zealand plummeting even further. They're 128 now, but for 6 wickets.
But we're seeing here, this is once again, that ball was of a length. Thompson's feet were just, he was crease bound, wasn't he? Had the bat away from the body, got an inside edge onto off stump.
So 128 for 6 as Shane Thompson leaves. Now, Bob Cunis was talking about the fact that Shane Thompson wasn't using his feet effectively and he wasn't getting into a better position. Well, he certainly got nowhere there. He went back a little bit and then tried to come forward, and it was really hitting wide of off stump, and once again an inside edge drags the ball onto the stumps.
Yes, we're seeing that was really a ball of a good length that I'm sure Thompson could have got forward to it. A little bit of movement, of course, but he helped it on its way.
He's got 2 balls left, and the first of them's coming from a shorter run.
Yep.
And Hart playing a well-timed shot, just pushing it through the covers so that it's going to be Tony Blaine to face the last ball. He goes wider this time, does Waka Yunus, and Blaine is comfortable. The over ends. It's tea time here, and New Zealand, having lost 4 wickets in the session, they resumed at 49 for 2. They're going to tea at 132 for 6, and Matthew Hart will leave with his score on 4. Tony Blaine is yet to score.
First ball of the new over. Not a bad looking shot from Blaine down the ground. In fact, it's going very fast indeed, and it'll run all the way for 4. An edge. It's going to run away for 4 very quickly. There's only 2 slips in now. Inside edge onto the pad, and it's ballooned away in the air. Comfortable catch, so New Zealand in further trouble. Tony Blaine on his way.
Well, Tony Blaine none too happy with this decision, but we may see just a little hint of an inside edge onto the pad maybe, and it's ballooned away to gully. He's taken the catch quite comfortably. The Pakistanis were always confident about it, and so was Brian Aldridge in the end, and Tony Blaine is gone. So New Zealand in further trouble, 140 for 7.
Well, Danny Morrison's the man coming in. We had him down at number 11. He's obviously pulled rank, and he's up the order a bit.
And this is why he's there. Now, this ball is ballooned off the pad. The question is, was there a little bit of bat in there on the way past at some point? Did it hit the inside edge of the bat onto the pad and balloon to gully, or did it hit the pad and then catch the edge on the way out?
Tried to York, and the Morrison's underway. Long chase here for Basit Ali. They should be able to get back for a 3rd. And Danny Morrison scampers back for 3. Here's a good shot by Matthew Hart. Should be another 3 here. Shoaib Mohammed has a long run back.
Well, this is another attempt at a Yorker, but this time he's trying it with a better batsman there, and it was an easy shot there for Matthew Hart. 146 for 7.
Nicely fended away, and he'll get a couple for this. They might only decide on the 1. No, they'll come back for the 2nd. So Danny Morrison, as the number 9 batsman, taking some responsibility. Peel for a catch down the leg side, and away he goes. Once again, Dickie Bird gave the batsman the opportunity to wander off. In the end, he put his finger up, and Danny Morrison is caught down the leg side.
It's either... Yes, it's always difficult on replays like this to say yay or nay. Dickie Bird will be going on sound as much as anything, he's certain. And so New Zealand now 149 for 8.
Simon Dool coming out to face the music for New Zealand after the dismissal of Danny Morrison. And here is the Morrison dismissal.
Yes, well, there we go, carrying through to Latif. And Dickie Bird, as I say, will be very much going on sound, because, you know, it's difficult sometimes to give those decisions because it can be thigh pad, the gloves are close to the pad, and therefore it's very important that you hear the sound, and that's where umpires need to make those decisions. There's no way that you could include that in the third umpire's job.
We get to Yorker first up and deals with it well. And 2 runs for Dool to get him underway, and it's also the New Zealand 150.
So Dool getting another couple of runs through mid-wicket. The chase for Akram, which is the last thing that he really wants, and 3 runs taken. And Dool plays a handsome stroke through the covers. That's a very good shot from Simon Dool. Saleem Malik is going to strengthen the offside. There's now Wasim Akram bowling with a cover, extra cover and mid-off. Must be just a gentle medium. But we know he's not, as Dool hits him square this time. And it's going to be a long chase, which I think will have the ball going into the boundary. It certainly does. So Simon Dool has hit 2 consecutive boundaries, one on the offside, one on the onside, from the great Wasim Akram. 2. As Dool goes big again, and he hits it behind square. And he just eludes the fielder down there. And Akram Raza can't quite pull it in. So Dool again is taking toll of this over from Wasim Akram. He's got 12, 3 boundaries.
This good shot there by Simon Dool once again, just going with that delivery.
It's a booming shot from Dool. He's hit the ball in the air though. And so the wicket has been taken, and Waqar Younis has his 3rd wicket.
That driven firmly, but upishly straight to the fielder at cover, Basit Ali.
So Basit Ali has the catch in the extra cover region, and Simon Dool out for 17. That's 170 for 9. New Zealand just 1 wicket left. Richard de Groen coming to the wicket. He's the last man for New Zealand in this match, and he's here because of this shot from Simon Dool, which was an aggressive stroke again, but hit in the air. And Basit Ali, who had sneaked out from the short leg position into the extra cover area, had the catch. Younis delighted. 3 wickets for him, 3 wickets for Akram, and 3 for Rahman. That's the way they've gone. And here's Akram again, though. It's short. It's just over the head of Gully. And it's going to be 4 runs, I think, for Richard de Groen. It's fast outfield here, and it goes all the way. He'll be pleased, but he will know that another one's coming.
He's a team man, Wasim Akram, a very nice guy. So, has bowled superbly.
Well, it's a Yorker. He's hit him on the toe. It's not out, says Dickie Bird, but it can't have been too far away. Well, this is getting serious now for Wasim Akram. There's 1 wicket left. He wants it. Might have just drifted down leg side. So that's the end of the New Zealand innings. They're all out for 175. Akram has done it with the last ball of his over. That's the 67th over of the innings, and the 24th bowled by Wasim Akram. He has 4 for 60, the best figures of any Pakistan bowler. And New Zealand all out for 175, with de Groen bowled by Akram for 4, and it leaves Matthew Hart not out on 12.
Absolutely superb, well-directed Yorker to the batsman. He's not able to dig it out to the ball, hitting the off stump. Varying his pace, he bowled a quicker and swinging Yorker to Groen. There's no clue as to what to do with it, and rather satisfied Wasim Akram.
Well, some consolation for Richard de Groen is that there will have been many better batsmen bowled by that ball or that type of delivery. And Wasim Akram is delighted. Well, that's carrying it a long way. So the international pairing there of Dickie Bird, the English umpire from Yorkshire, and Wasim Akram leaving the field, with Pakistan having bowled out New Zealand for 175 here at the Basin Reserve.
So New Zealand all out then for a disappointing 175 after winning the toss and electing to bat. Some useful contributions in the middle there from Andrew Jones with 43, Mark Great, that's 45, but no one really going on and getting a big score. For Pakistan, the bowling side of it, Wasim Akram 4 for 60, the most successful of the bowlers. Good support too from Wasim Yunus with 3 wickets, and Akhtar Rahman with 3 wickets as well. He did a good job to remove the top order. So Pakistan then requiring to bat just 12 overs before stumps, and we pick up play early in their innings.
Here's Danny Morrison to bowl the first over from the Arrow stand end. He's on his way. Oh, and Saeed is a little bit loose first ball. And here's the first runs of the Pakistani innings. Good looking shot away behind square, and a long run round there. De Gruen, no ball called as well, just to add to the complications. Again, turned away behind square. Richard De Gruen in the action. They'll only get 1 this time. And Sahal's underway, so the 2 openers, runs on the board immediately. Oh, there was a cry of catch it, but I think it's a little wide as it runs away down for 4.
Turned down. That would have had to be pretty close.
Yeah, live it looked like a good shout. Let's see though. He gets in close. Didn't straighten enough. And Harold would tell you the angle has to be closed down. And that one's pitched on, but it's not straightened enough to close the angle and is missing off stump.
Nicely driven, beautifully played. Rutherford has the chase. And it looks like the ball could win the race. Yes, it does. 4 runs.
Well, Saeed Anwar goes for it, and he hits it pretty well. He kept it down and hit it directly square of the wicket, and he gets another boundary. That's his 5th, and he goes to 29. That's a good one, too. A very good one indeed, but the shake of the head. Well, it's a big one, too, and Bradwin looks more closely, and it's out this time. Second time lucky for Morrison. He has the wicket. And Pakistan right on the stroke of stumps, 33 for 1 wicket.
Well, I feel that was a lot well, it was closer, wasn't it?
That was middle stump, wasn't it?
Yeah, out, wasn't it? And surprised to see the reaction of the batsman as he went off there. He seemed a little happy about something.
Well, if you're going to argue, you might as well argue with your man. It's 34 for 1. Here's the last ball of the first day's play. And he plays it pretty well, does the night watchman. And
over the time, gentlemen.
The over and time, gentlemen, is called by the Yorkshire umpire standing in this match, the second he's done in New Zealand. So in reply to the New Zealand total of 175, when Wasim Akram had 4 wickets and Yunus and Rahman had 3 each, Pakistan have made 35 for 1, with Saeed Anwar, the shorter of the 2 batsmen, leaving with 30 against his name, and with him is Akram Raza, the night watchman, yet to score, and it's 35 for 1 wicket.
So there's the Pakistan scoreboard, 35 for 1. The batsman out Sahal, LBW to Morrison in the second last over of the day. Bowling figures, Morrison 6 overs, quite expensive for 21 runs, but good tight bowling from De Gruen and Dool at the other end. So there we have it, day 1 very much belonging to Pakistan. We'll have the highlights of day 2 tomorrow night. I hope you can join us then. Welcome to the highlights of day 2 of the second test between Pakistan and New Zealand. Remembering back to yesterday, of course, New Zealand all out for 175. Disappointing result, really, after winning the toss and electing to bat. In reply at stumps, Pakistan 35 for 1. Beautiful day in Wellington this morning when play began. Danny Morrison bowling to Saeed Anwar.
So first ball of the day, and not a bad one. There's the night watchman, Akram Raza.
And I did a little bit of homework overnight on Akram Raza because we don't know too much about him, but I can tell you he's scored 2 first-class centuries already. His highest score is 112 at the first-class level.
Straying down leg side. They're looking for a leg by, a reasonably short one, but he's through safely enough. That's a good piece of homework there, Smith.
Well, I worked long and hard into the night, and I called around, and I also discovered that last year he took 71 wickets at an average of 24.2. He was the top wicket taker in Pakistan domestic cricket, and he averaged 28 with the bat, so he's no mug.
No, that's a good all-round performance from the new man, and he certainly had to do it all yesterday. He had a bowl, had a bat, and no doubt after a night's rest, he'll either be a lot worse or he'll come right. There's a nick behind, allowed appeal, but Dickie Bird says no. Simon Dool very excited, but the key man, the umpire, says that's not out.
Well, certainly there's a sound as the ball goes past the bat here, and it's an inside edge if it's an edge. And certainly deviated back towards the leg side. As it goes past, you can see just it straightens as it goes past the bat. There's a certain woody sound. The bat is well away from the pad. New Zealanders are absolutely unanimous in their appeal and their reaction as well. They're disgusted. Umpire Bird says not out. Let's get on with it, fellas.
Good piece of fielding in the gully. Andrew Jones diving away.
Let's take another look at this one again, John, and from behind, listen for the edge as the ball goes past the bat. We can see a nick there. We can also see the ball was angling across at one point. He played away from his body, and then all of a sudden it appeared to deviate back towards the stump. So perhaps it did hit something on the way past, and certainly the bat was away from the pad.
There wasn't anything else there, was there?
Yes, they are very difficult, we've got to say that, but our pictures and sound effects certainly would suggest that he got a nick on. Let's have another look. Well, the nick arrived just as the ball went past the bat, so would suggest it's not something else. Well, this is an interesting shot. It's straight up in the air, and the night watchman, he still waits for the finger. How on earth that couldn't have been out, I don't know, but he gets the finger all right, so the night watchman is on his way. Rather a strange-looking shot, just lobbing up in the air.
Yes, he's tried to take on Danny Morrison, and it's hit the bat about 3 times, I think. It's sort of a wee touch on the gloves, then onto the back of the bat, and then he sort of scooped it up as well. So he definitely hit it about 3 times, and as you say, John, why he hung around, I don't know. But he was given the message finally, and now Pakistan 36 for 2.
Danny Morrison picked up another one.
See all the contacts on the bat there. It ran along almost off the gloves initially, and then down to the bottom of the back of the bat, and it just, as he followed through, just spooned it gently up into the air. And Tony Blaine won't get too many catches in his Test career easier than this one.
No, it really was one of the most easy catches of all time. And this is not a bad-looking shot. It's got real power. In fact, it's going to race away for 4. Oh, he's gone for this one. It's in the air. It might fall safely. In fact, it will, but he's playing with fire. In the end, it runs away quickly for 4, but he tried to hook.
And he has scored now. Nice push down through mid-on. Rutherford has the chase. The outfield is very quick, and the ball should win the race. That's a lovely shot by Saeed Anwar. Well, that's caught the edge, and it's got through, and it'll go for 4. He's picked the gap between second and third slip perfectly. Nicely pushed away through the covers. Rutherford has the chase. It looks to be well timed once more and heading to the boundary. 4 more. This is away down to third man. That's 4 runs. Easy single here, as Shane Thompson had to make ground at 62 for 2 at the end of the over. As time he's pushed away down through mid-off. Well-timed stroke. Richard de Gruen has the chase, and the batsmen have time for 2 runs. And that's the end of the over. 64 for 2.
So de Gruen's first ball is turned down to fine leg, and Anwar goes to 39, takes the score to 65. Inside Anwar goes for that one. It was short, and he kept it down very well, and he's going to hit it through mid-wicket. Pocock can chase it, but eventually he has to give it away. And Saeed Anwar played that very strongly through the onside. And you can see a wagon wheel from combined ends. He's got scores all round the boundary, and he's hit that one pretty well through mid-wicket. Now, that's beautifully timed, and once again Pocock's chase is going to be in vain. And a very good shot from Saeed Anwar. 75 for 2 now. So 100 runs the difference between the two teams. He's hit that one very well. That's through square leg, and that's going to go all the way too. Now that really travelled across the outfield. I think it's quicker today than it was yesterday because of the heat yesterday, but Basit Ali timing that beautifully. And now he's looking for his first 50, and he's going to get it too, Saeed Anwar. He's hit that beautifully, and he's gone to 50. In fact, the boundary will take him to 52, and that's a very good innings from Saeed Anwar.
That's through the field and played away for more runs by Basit Ali.
Looking to pull that one away, and does it very successfully, and it races away to the mid-wicket fence for 4. So Matthew Hart into the side. This is his debut match. Left arm spinner. Well, he's cracked that one, and it's over the top of mid-on, is it? Went a little higher than maybe he hoped, but he's got 4 anyway, so he's attacked Hart from the outset. Oh, this is in the air. He should be out. Oh, just over the head of mid-off. Well, that was a miscue. They're going to come back for 2, but no, they're not even going to do that. They were so concerned about the shot, but very lucky to get away with it. Saeed Anwar. End of the over, 109 for 2.
Oh, a stumping chance for Tony Blaine, and it's gone down to the fence, and Greatbatch is after it. We'll have to watch the umpire just to make sure. Yes.
Oh dear, that's buys. That's a serious miss. And you see Tony Blaine there shaking his head. Look at Basit Ali charging. It did him through the gate. That means that the keeper is obscured, but he appeared to have the gloves in the right place, and that would have been a very easy stumping in terms of the batsman being well out of his crease.
Nicely played away. There's no third man in, and that's 4 runs. This is in the air too, and he might be lucky. Pocock coming round, and once again a false shot played by the batsman, and he's got away with it.
Well, it's a lovely shot from Saeed Anwar, and once again Morrison making a lot of ground to prevent the ball from going through, but he timed it beautifully. They've added 100 this morning, and that's going to be the 100 partnership too. Basit Ali has hit it beautifully. Doyle will haul it in, and while that's happening, they can complete 3. Basit Ali to 47, but the 100 partnership is reached. So you can see that Basit Ali has scored 47 of the 100, and Saeed Anwar 42, so it's been pretty well shared, and they've scored 101 in 103 minutes, a run a minute from 148 balls. And it's going to be dropped, is it? We'll wait for the umpire to see whether that is a chance, but de Gruen says that it is. His body language is clear. The umpire is indicating that there is no extras, so a further run to Saeed Anwar, and look at this for a chance.
Interesting here that inside edge, but once again Tony Blaine a little slow out of the blocks.
The last ball before lunch, the 4th session of this test match. And Anwar's onto the back foot. He sees the chance for getting runs before lunch, and he's going to take them. He'll end up with a boundary, and that takes his score to 81, and it takes Pakistan to 148 for 2.
Danny Morrison, the only successful bowler, as you see, 2 for 49. Saeed Anwar is launching straight into a big shot through square leg. Won't go all the way, didn't time it that well, but it's going to be a comfortable 3. It's a funny sort of an edge that sneaks its way through first slip. Great badge. And they're coming back for 2, so there we are. Basit Ali has crept through to 50. 51 he's gone to. And a fine hand for Pakistan by Basit Ali. And that's a little wayward, and it's severely punished. Away to backward point for 4. Short and wide, dispatched.
Nicely timed shot, and it's gone straight through this time, and it's going to the fence for 4 runs. That's a lovely on drive. That's another 4. Over tossed, and Ken Rutherford gave it away at mid-on very early. Pulls this one away. That's going to be another 4. In fact, he's lifted it, and it bounces. Yes, 4 runs. This one's in the air as well. Mark Greatbatch can't find it for the moment. It's way over his head, and that's 4 more. 3 boundaries so far off the over from Danny Morrison. Played very freely through the covers. Great patch to chase, but I think he can give it away. It's starting to slow, but it just makes it. The batsmen have had a little chat, looking for that elusive 1 run. Saeed Anwar. Yes, he's got it too. It's away backward a point, and Saeed Anwar has his first Test century.
Yes, the field coming in a little closer meant that if he was able to play it firmly, there was every chance that he would get it by that inner ring, and he did so. So his maiden Test century.
And Hart is driven quietly down the ground. There is a man stationed at long on. They've just brought up the 150 in 163 minutes, so it's nearly around a minute. Saeed getting 73 of the partnership. And Basit Ali's made 65 of them. And included in the 65 to Basit Ali are 11 boundaries. He's had only 28 scoring balls, so he's got 44 of his runs in boundaries, 21 otherwise. And he tries to capitalise on that, can just get a single. I think he saw a half volley and overclubbed it. And the bowler's doing a fairly difficult job, doing it rather steadily as Basit Ali hurries through for the second run.
Basit Ali was promoted in the batting order because of the injury to the middle finger of his right hand of Asim Mustafa while fielding in the gully. A square cut which came to him, he tried to stop it, and in turn he split his finger.
Well, he's hit that pretty well. It's going out behind square, and it's going to be fielded just inside the boundary, so a chance to run 2, taking him on to 70. And we understand that Mustafa's finger is broken in 2 places.
Yes, and then x-rays have revealed that he has broken his middle finger. It is in plaster, but there's no immediate threat really to the batting side, and there's the 2 managers of the touring team, Majid Khan and Intikhab Alamas, are not considering any replacement at the moment.
So he's going to stay on?
I think he's
He's got himself into all sorts of trouble there, Basit Ali. Rather inventive and successful. Well, I suppose he just slipped in the dust that's gathering on the batting crease. He's looking at his shoes there. You can see he's wearing spikes.
Yes, as he goes for that sweep shot, he loses control and slips.
Oh, he's played that well, Basit Ali. That's a lovely shot. Might be 3 again. Might even get to the boundary. It does. So there's the 200 for Pakistan. It's 200 for 2. And this is in the 55th over.
that a drop chance? It may have been. He went for the cut. Again, it was a little tight for him. It was certainly in the air. Brian Young at first slipped, diving away to his right. We'll see if we can pick it up.
That's what we're talking about, frustrating him into playing a bit of a false shot, really, and he's just angled that away, and it's a question of whether it carried to Brian Young's diving right hand.
Driving. And he's got it through. That will run all the way for 4. Well timed indeed.
Good looking shot here. Big chase for Danny Morrison, and he can't overhaul it. And that looked like a regulation push, and suddenly it's gone to the fence. Tidy bowling performance from Matthew Hart. He went for 21 in his first 5 overs. He's now on his 13th, and he's conceded 43. Gave that a fair bit of air, and that's a false shot, which will get 4 runs. So it's not always a fair game for the bowler. A good ball and a streaky shot results in 4 runs. No run. Oh, here's a mix-up. And in the end, they went. They had a little discussion in the middle of the pitch for a moment.
I think they might have been speaking to each other in Urdu there too. I think I heard a call of Aja rather than yes or come or no. And they ought to have sorted it out, but almost didn't.
He's lifted this one, and he's got a hold of it too. That's a good hit. Let's just watch the umpire. He's waiting for confirmation. Dickie Bird, I think, lost sight of it. The crowd's telling him 4. He's played it on his bowls. New Zealand finally have the wicket as the batsman pulls it back onto the leg stump, and away goes Basit Ali.
Well, when he played the shot, look, he exposes his leg stump. And it came round, did it off the back of the bat. Somehow he helped it around, but he did expose the leg stump there. So through perseverance, New Zealand have got that 3rd wicket. Pakistan now 233 for 3. We see him expose the leg stump here when he swept. But let's watch if he follows it round and gets some... No, well, that's hit just straight on. I don't think there's anything helped on there. He just got his front foot too far across, exposing the leg stump. The ball's gone straight through. Let's look at stump vision. There it is there. Didn't touch anything, did it? Straight onto the stump. So that's technically a mistake from Basit Ali, but he's played a very fine hand for Pakistan.
It's in the air, and it's going to be safe, though. It's going to go all the way down to the 3rd-man boundary. So he certainly gave that a bit of a flick, but he was lucky enough to get the ball aerially, but in the gap. Lovely shot, and here he goes again, and he's through the point boundary, and they can give that away. That's another boundary, the 2nd consecutive 4 to Saeed Anwar, and he's 147 not out, and that's the 250 for Pakistan. 250 for 3 in reply to New Zealand's 175. And these guys are looking dangerous. He's turning it fine. He's going to get his 150, and he's going to get it very easily, just coming back for the 2nd. So Saeed Anwar doesn't know when to stop. He went to 100. He settled in, and now he's gone to 150, and he's taken... 3 of them have gone for 4. And they've been all around the paddock, and that's another one that's going to be hit well enough to give him a couple anyway. They might come back for the 3rd as Dill gets it inside the boundary. Well, that's hit over mid-on, and that's hit in the air, but it's hit so well that there's no thought of a catcher getting there. And he's just taking them to all parts of the ground now. He must be seeing the ball like a slow balloon.
Forcing away on the onside, a shot he really favours and does very well. Well, that's very short. He's hooked it away. He's got hold of it reasonably well, considering it's going to run away for 4, but he didn't look in total control there. driving Saleem Malik. He's going to get underway at last. And in fact, there's a misfield which has deflected the ball a long way away. And there's a chapter of accidents out there as De Gruen came round to pick up. And he made a mess of it as well. So in the end, they get 2. Off the back foot. That's too short, and it's punished. It'll run away for 4. And Matthew Hart dragging that one down, and it's hit away just behind point. There's another cracking drive. May not go all the way. Ken Rutherford's after it. But they should get 3. No, they decide against it. They're not that anxious about it.
So another good-looking drive through the offside from Malik. And Ken Rutherford at one stage there looked as if he was going to chase it all away, but it pulled up in time and he overhauled it. Malik now starting to open up.
Slightly slower ball, and it gets the same sort of treatment, a little squarer, and they'll get another comfortable 2.
21 50s and 10 centuries in Test cricket for Saleem Malik.
What a super drive. Over-pitched, it was there to be hit, one has to say, and he obliged. And a good-looking shot through the onside. This is all timing, really. And certainly 2. They may consider 3. Oh, there could be a run out. And yes, he's run out. Saeed Anwar was sent back by the skipper, Saleem Malik. And Pakistan have lost a wicket. The century maker is run out.
Well, this is total confusion and a very sad end to a great innings from Saeed Anwar. It's a case of really not knowing what your partner's up to, and both of them were guilty of watching the ball rather than what each other was doing. At no stage was Malik interested in the 3rd run. Saeed Anwar always thought it was on, and he was the one that was sent back, and in the end, only just in the frame. Well gone. But what a fine innings and a generous round of applause. A breakthrough for New Zealand at last, 290 for 4.
Inzamam, the new man, and he's here because of this.
It's to pick up the turn, the throw, and it's all very well, but it's got to be on line, and on this occasion it was, and always in trouble from that point onwards.
Well, that's a beautiful shot. That's 4 runs. It was close to great patch. He had no chance of stopping it. Over tossing Inzamam, going for his first run and getting it comfortably enough as De Gruen misfields down at wideish mid-on. Pakistan 124 runs on now.
Oh, we're bowled.
Wants a single and he'll get it. So there's the 300 for Pakistan, 300 for the loss of 4 wickets. Whack, that's gone. A full toss, and let's see what the umpire has to say. Everyone has a look, and it's 4 runs.
Now Saleem Malik is going over the top 2. He's hitting him through mid-wicket against whatever spinner's there, but he picked it up so well he just ran into the shot and lofted it over the boundary for mid-wicket. What a great shot again. Driving again through extra cover. That's going to race away to the boundary. Oh, that's a beautiful shot from Saleem Malik. And he's cracking the ball just square of the wicket on the offside, and you can give that away. There's no need to chase it because it's into the boundary for 4.
Big hook from Inzamam. No problem at all for Inzamam. And we'll play it away for more runs. That goes all the way for the 51st boundary of the day.
Clipped away nicely off his toes. And it won't go all the way, but a very comfortable 2. driving through the offside. Nice looking shot from Saleem Malik. And they picked up a very comfortable 2. They may consider 3. Richard de Gruen is really battling out there. Rather slow in getting it back.
That's a run down to fine leg. And that's 50 for Saleem Malik.
32nd time.
A no ball, and he's swung him away through mid-wicket for 4. Gusty northerly now behind Danny Morrison. Slow ball from Morrison, and Saleem Malik whacks it away through the covers for 4. Inzamam, he whacks a boundary through the offside as well. That's his first boundary on the offside, but that's a convincing stroke. Oh, he's played a French cut. And there's 50 for Inzamam. And it's come up in double quick time too. 81 minutes. Another 50 for Inzamam-ul-Haq.
The batting side could be forgiven for going for the stumps call, but they're not. They're going for runs. And Saleem Malik is turning for a couple to end the over. It's 388 for 4. He's driving firmly, and de Gruen got a bit of a hand on it. Just deflected it, took a little bit of the sting out of it. And that's taken the score to 390, and it was a 290 when they came together. So there's a 100 partnership between the two of them. Inzamam-ul-Haq, who has scored 57 of this 100, and Saleem Malik, who has 42 of them, but it's been a very convincing display by the two outstanding stroke makers in this Pakistan side. Oh, that's a great shot from the back foot, and it beats the fielder. And once that happens with this fast outfield, it's going to race to the boundary for 4. And it's going to take Pakistan within 2 of 400. So we've seen 52 boundaries today, and they have been wonderful shots contained in the 363 that have been scored to give Pakistan a very handsome lead. And 6 wickets in hand, remember. No balls left in the day's play, because that ends it with Matthew Hart completing the last over of the day, and that leaves Saleem Malik on 62 not out. With him is Inzamam-ul-Haq, who was 63 not out, and Pakistan have taken themselves to a very comfortable position.
The day, a day that did belong to them and to one man in particular, Saeed Anwar. There you see run out for 169. He was well supported by Basit Ali with 85. Saleem Malik not out on 62, and with him Inzamam-ul-Haq on 63. For the New Zealand bowlers, not a lot to smile about tonight. Danny Morrison toiled hard all day for very little reward, and Matthew Hart, the young spinner, making his test debut. No wickets, but a wee bit unlucky. So Pakistan an overall lead now of 223, 6 wickets in hand. They're in solid shape heading into day 3. We'll have highlights of that day's play tomorrow night. I hope you can join us then. Welcome to the highlights of day 3 of the second test between Pakistan and New Zealand here at the Basin Reserve. Overnight, Pakistan enjoyed a lead of 223 runs. They had 6 first innings wickets in hand. The not-out batsmen were Captain Saleem Malik on 62, with him Inzamam-ul-Haq on 63. Fine, but just a little windy in Wellington this morning. Where play began, it was Danny Morrison bowling to Inzamam.
So it's going to be Danny Morrison to open up for New Zealand this morning.
They won't want the Pakistanis to get away to a flyer here.
First run of the morning as Inzamam takes a single, and Pakistan go to 399 for 4. That's a flashing shot by Saleem Malik. He should only get a single though, as the player at third man does the fielding. That's Blair Pocock, and that's 400 for Pakistan. 400 for the loss of 4 wickets. Oh, beautiful shot from Inzamam. First boundary of the morning, a classic straight drive. Oh, beautifully played, Saleem Malik. Another 4, square of the wicket on the offside. This has gone straight up in the air. It's a chance for De Gruen. It's just wide of him.
De Gruen has signalled 4. The umpire went to signal 6. Now, that was an uncontrolled hook. Look at this. Gets too big on him. Too much down offside. Top edges it. De Gruen down there, just a little wide for that shot. Moves around, and it bounces between him and the boundary.
Oh, he's driven that beautifully, Saleem Malik. Don't run for that. It's 4 from the time it left the bat. Oh, he's loosely hitting it down to backward point. And a chase for Morrison will allow them to get 2 runs, taking Saleem Malik to 81. Inzamam has 74, and Morrison will bowl to him. And he's short this time, and Inzamam's hit it down to long leg, and Richard De Gruen lost it completely.
Oh, swinging it away, Inzamam. He's got hold of it. And where's it finished up? I think it's 6 runs. Yes, it is. So he hit that pretty well. Simon Doull dropping a little short, straying down leg side. And Inzamam, bang.
Well, Brian, Simon Doull should have learnt already this morning that these guys are going to play the hook shot or the pull shot. If you drop it short down leg side, they're in that good a form. They're going to make good contact.
Good drive here. Super looking shot. That'll race away through the covers for 4.
And cracked away, first ball after drinks, 4 more, and the pattern of the morning continues. And played straight down the ground again. And it's 4 more. So Saleem Malik on 98. And there's his 100, pushed away through mid-on. Lovely piece of timing. And the ball running away, and that was beautifully timed.
Well, 3 boundaries and 4 deliveries. And Malik, his 11th Test century. That has been a fine innings, there's no doubt about that.
Inzamam drives beautifully on the offside, 4 more. Matthew Hart looks like he might bowl, though, from the southern end next over. Meantime, it's Doull. This will go all the way as well. That's 12 boundaries this morning in just over an hour. He sweeps it very fine. And a lot of work for the fieldsman to do, and he misses it. Well, that's not good fielding at all. Looked as though Richard De Gruen had it covered.
Inzamam gets 1 anyway, and he'll look for 2 as it goes down to Richard De Gruen. Will he come back for it? He does. He's going to have to hurry, but he makes it all right. And so Inzamam is 98 not out. Inzamam on 98. He's going to look for the second run. No, he's not. He's going to be happy with 1. So he's 99. Saleem Malik is still out there at 115. And Inzamam's 1 off it. So 1 to Saleem Malik, second run taken. And he'll get it there, but he'll have to hurry, and De Gruen throws at the stumps, and Inzamam completes his second 100. Inzamam-ul-Haq, 100 not out, and Pakistan are 490 for 4. Partnership's 200. Malik gets that very fine indeed, and that's going to go for 4. He hit that very well. It was a bottom edge, but it was really hit fine and straight to the boundary. 497 for 4. Another full toss, 2 in a row. Well, I suppose it's better to be full than short. And it's 499 now.
And still a good-looking day here. The Basin Reserve, the weather forecast. It's certainly been a bit mixed in the last couple of days. Boys hit it in the air, but it's very safe and going very hard down there. Good piece of fielding. And returning it. So only 1 run results. or nasty bounce out there, and that'll run away for 4. And Brian Young looking at the ground. There are a few scuff marks around where previous pitches have been, and that was a nasty bounce.
And this is the kind of thing the young fella doesn't need. He needs a bit of luck. A bit of bad luck, and as you say, it wasn't the nicest of bounces, but then again, seen better fielding positions as well. The legs were wide open, and through the ball went.
Good looking shot, a bit of room here. I don't think third man will get it. No, he won't. So 4 more, and a little short and wide, and again punished. That's a good shot. He's played that away through mid-wicket off the back foot, and it's just running away easily for 4. Loud appeal, but that was drifting down leg side. So is that the end of play? Yes, it is. They've decided to call it quits for the morning, so the players make their way off the basin reserve. Pakistan continuing this morning to dominate proceedings here. 516 for 4. Wonderful performance by them. Inzamam and Malik both on 100 and going very well.
Inzamam pulls this one away forward of the wicket, and it's heading out for yet another boundary. And that's the second ball after lunch. Tries another one and over tosses this time, and it could cost him 4 runs. It'll get onto the practice wickets and it'll take off. 4 runs. Nicely turned by Inzamam. He should get back for a second here.
Back up.
That's a wild return from the deep. Swings this, and it's gone directly behind the keeper and out of the fence for 4 runs. Not controlled by Inzamam, but 4 runs nonetheless, and it's 538 for 4. Goes over the top this time and collects it well. 4 runs, first bounce. Pushing it nicely through the gap. Another chase for Great Batch. And another 2 runs for Pakistan. Looking for a third, hesitating and deciding not to go.
It's in the air, and he's made a catch, and Matthew Hart has his first wicket. And it's a very good one too, with Saleem Malik driving the ball back to him. And the declaration has come. And so Matthew Hart is joyful, and New Zealand have been given the declaration. It's 548 for 5, and here's the first wicket in Matthew Hart's Test career.
Good flattered delivery. Saleem Malik going for a big hit, plays it just straight into the hands of Matthew Hart. Was absolutely delighted taking his first Test wicket, and duly congratulated by his captain. Look at him wide of the stump, flighted, tempting delivery straight into the hands of Matthew Hart.
So there's the scoreboard. That reflects a total dominance really by Pakistan. 3 centuries in all to Saeed Anwar yesterday. Saleem Malik carrying on today to 140. Inzamam, of course, left not out when the declaration came. New Zealand bowling figures, well, not really pretty on the eye, are they? All those bowlers going for plenty. Danny Morrison the most successful with the 2 wickets. Their second innings, they were 373 runs behind. Wasim Akram bowled the first over to Blair Pocock.
Wasim Akram was going to bowl into the wind. Now, does this surprise you, Kumar?
Not at all, really, because he's a type of bowler who can bowl with the wind and into the wind. And because he varies his pace all the time, you know, that's the biggest asset that he has.
The first ball of the second innings. A deficit of 373. Now, Brian Young, who made a duck in the first innings, remember, was out to Wasim Akram. And he's going back again, which he said he didn't want to do, but he gets his run. And, in fact, comes back for the second. And Wicker Yunus with a very much quicker delivery, which was right on line and right up to him, has gone straight through the hurried defences of Blair Pocock. And New Zealand are back in trouble if they were ever out of it. It's 3 for 1.
That delivery was an absolute sizzler, just cutting back into the batsman. and hitting the middle and off stump of Blair Pocock, who was forced on the back foot, and delighted Waqar Yunus.
And as Pocock leaves, it is 3 for 1, and that will bring Andrew Jones to the crease.
We'll have another look at it, see what happened. It was a fast delivery, no question about that.
Yes, speaking of the pace, really, he may have got a little bit of an inside edge on it, which helped it there, but it was always threatening. And because of the bounce of the delivery, one wonders whether he may have been a little bit more committed to go forward. We see there from the stumpy vision, he was coming back before the delivery had even left the bowler's hand.
So the ball's running away down to fine leg. The first ball of the new over from Wasim Akram. Inside edge and went down onto the stumps, but it's all the same in the end. If the bails are dislodged, you're out. So further disaster for New Zealand. Brian Young on his way.
Well, this was angling across Young into the off side of the off stump towards the slips, and he's just played away slightly, even changed his mind about playing it all together, but he changed his mind too late. And in the end, the inside edge down onto the leg stump, and Pakistanis are jubilant. Brian Young shake of the head there. He's gone 5 for 2. Well, see here, demise of Brian Young. Just the ball was never threatening the stumps. The angle of it was taking it towards the slip cordon, and he was really in two minds and ended up playing away from his body, almost changing his mind about it. And in the end, the inside edge, which is not a rare sight this year.
No, it's not, Ian. And as you say, he was really caught in two minds. That's not a bad delivery. Just swaying out of the way. Well played, but going back to that, so he pulled the bat away, which indicated he wanted to leave it, but the ball arrived too quickly for him. It struck the inside edge and ricocheted down on the stumps. Certainly working up some pace. But there's 4 runs. Andrew Jones clipping it away behind point. The speed of the ball certainly taking it away very fast, but well played. Well played again. This will run away for 4 more. And the upfield very fast. And of course with the fast bowler, 4 more to Andrew Jones. End of the over, 14 for 2. And Ken Rutherford just pushes this one down to, well, it just runs off the bat, down to fine leg, wideish. And he's underway. There's a single. Of course, with the very attacking field, runs tend to come reasonably quickly, but with all the runs to play with, it doesn't worry Pakistan at all.
Nice shot played by Jones. This will run away for 4. Seems to be making pace as it goes on. Another boundary for Andrew Jones. Rutherford hooks and hooks well. Kept it down, went to the fence for 4. Okay, Yunus bowling his 5th over downwind. He'll probably give way to Wasim Akram downwind, and that will allow the other medium pacer, or the only medium pacer, to come in into the northerly. Tries to York Rutherford, who drives him pleasantly through the offside for 4 more.
This is high-quality cricket.
Oh, that's a great shot. 4 more. 3rd boundary in the over.
And Jones gets that one away through the field for 4 more.
Jones playing it through the gully, and with a misfield, he'll bring up the New Zealand 50, and that's only in the 12th over of the 2nd innings. They face a deficit of 373, and it's 50 for 2.
I think that Rutherford tried to nullify the movement of the quicker bowlers. He's batting out of his crease. He didn't do this in the 1st innings.
Oh, it's a Yorker again, and Rutherford was sorely tested. 52 for 2. Oh, it's short, and it's belted behind square by Rutherford. another boundary. He's playing it down to the area which is unguarded down at third man. And Rahman's first ball is hit by Jones for 4.
Straight delivery. He's thinking of a single. It's a misfield in the end, quite a bad one. And Saleem Malik, the skipper, lumbers after it. And they're going to come back for a comfortable 3. Here's 4 more, perhaps. No third man as it races down there to the boundary. So Ken Rutherford just running it off the pace.
Ahmed Sahal, a very useful bowler, especially in the one-day games. And
well, he bowls fairly flat, doesn't he? And it's going to have to be a hurry for Ken Rutherford. My word, he really had the foot down then. A risky single, and I think Andrew Jones recognises that. He knows that he was really taking a risk which was likely to be very dangerous.
Not was taking that risk over there. Very smartly fielded there by Saeed Anwar, who's the left-hander, throws it right into the keeper gloves. But Rutherford does well to scamper home.
But if he's going to bowl like that, he's going to be picked off easily by Ken Rutherford, who hits him behind point and takes a couple to end the over. So it's 77 now for 2. Oh, he's going for it this time, Andrew Jones. It's a favourite shot of his, and he doesn't always get it exactly in the middle, but mostly he gets it away. And that's his 6th boundary. Rahman, he's only 18 years old, this fellow. And he's cutting again, and he's very lucky, Ken Rutherford. And look at his face. Just let's see if we can see Ken Rutherford, because I'm sure he will not be happy.
That one from Ataur Rahman, slightly short and lifting, and rather sailed past Akram Razal's stretching hand over there. Dangerously clipped through the slips.
Well, New Zealand have Jones and Rutherford making the highest partnership this series to date at 83 undefeated. But it must be a mental strain for Ken Rutherford. And he hooks very well. There's a player down here, but he's not even going to move for it. That's a wonderful shot from Rutherford. And we're just looking to wait for Dickie Bird. Is he going to signal 4 or 6? Brian Aldridge says it was 4. So 4 to end the over. It's 92 for 2.
Oh, that's a funny shot from Rutherford. Certainly got a bit of bat on that.
Yes, he went to leave it. Just trying to let it go. Pulling the bat up, it hit the toe end of the bat and went down into the ground.
That's more like it. Beautiful cover drive, 4 runs. Oh, Rutherford chops and almost chops it on. Well, sadly, that's a rather familiar shot.
Yes, it's as though he's getting a relapse of the disease. It's just coming back, and he is quite furious with himself. The off-spinner, it's very risky. He's got a bottom edge on it.
Jones deflects nicely down the leg side. It's a long run for the fieldsman, and they'll have time for a couple. Wasim Akram out there. And up comes the New Zealand 100 for the loss of just 2 wickets. Oh, he smacked that away. That's a classic shot. 4 runs. And that's 50 for Ken Rutherford.
He's played some magnificent strokes in this 50. What about the next one?
Tucked away by Jones. That's 4 runs. Short and wide from Razak.
That's vintage Jones.
So the 100 partnership has arrived between these two players. He goes for it again. Another marvellous cover drive from Ken Rutherford. 4 more.
Pulling. That's a good shot. And it races away for 4 more. And cutting, 4 more. He just helped that one, really. It was short and wide. And and raced away down there to wide third man. Oh, he's gone. Third slip, and Ken Rutherford, after looking so good, has fallen to that cut shot again, a little too close in, and it goes in the air to third slip. So New Zealand have lost their skipper, and they're now 3 down.
Well, he's tried so hard to avoid playing this shot. He knows it's been his danger, and he hasn't been able to resist. So a victory here for Emma. It's taken a long time. He's taken some punishment, but in the end, he's won the battle. Ken Rutherford, a fine knock for 63, but it's over. New Zealand won 20 for 3.
What a tragedy for New Zealand. Ken Rutherford looking so good. But, that cut shot has led to his downfall. Let's have another look there. In the air, Raza, third slip. Quite comfortable.
And we can see Ken Rutherford's reaction. He's got himself out, really. He hasn't been dismissed by the Pakistanis, and he knows it.
And he's hit this one away. This should run away for 4 and bring up his 50. And it's beaten the field out there, and there it goes.
Well, a lot of talk about whether this will be Andrew Jones's last appearance at the base reserve in a test match. Speculation about his future. But if he's going to go out, he's going to go out in style, and he's treated the Wellington crowds to some great innings over the years, and he's starting to build one here. Fine 50.
But he's holding all the trump cards as Malik at the moment.
Greatbatch playing the short one, getting over it, and it goes wide. It slips down to the unprotected third-man boundary for 4.
Yes, and this time it's Jones going for the shot through mid-wicket, and he's hit it pretty well, but it's not going to carry all the way to the boundary. He's going around the wicket now to change the angle, and Jones goes for it, and he hits it beautifully behind points. That ends the over. It's 138 for 3. Akram Razar to Greatbatch, and that's a good shot too. He's hit that very well indeed, and that's going to race all the way to the boundary. And that went in a very funny position because it came from the boot and then went over the top of the stumps, over the keeper, down where first slip would be, and it started off outside leg stump. You might have got a knock on that.
Well, I've got a feeling here that Jones wasn't prepared to run. He was going to wait and see what the end result was, because I feel there was a little bit of bat on that.
Might have been too. He caught it up pretty late, didn't he?
If you noticed the runners, they were quite hesitant because he was waiting to see what was going to happen first.
He's flicking at it, and Greatbatch is gone. Wasim Akram has the wicket, and it was a very tentative shot from Mark Greatbatch, which has brought about the 4th New Zealand dismissal, and Pakistan are delighted.
Yes, we're seeing here this ball just moved away a fraction. Probably didn't bounce quite as much as Greatbatch thought it would, but it's a ball he probably could have left alone. But that's a problem when you're out of touch. Actually followed that, and it finished up being just a straightforward catch to the keeper.
So Greatbatch leaves for 10. It's 143 for 4. Wasim Akram has just started his 12th over, and the first ball to Greatbatch. Look at it. Absolute delight for Akram after he saw that a shortish ball which was wide of the off stump. Greatbatch probably saw the chance to be able to cut.
The base and reserve in Wellington, it's 143 for 4 New Zealand. The deficit on the first innings, 373. And Shane Thompson works it away and he should get 2. Jones takes the single. In fact, he might have to take 2. He will. That's very poor fielding. In fact, some of the ground fielding in this match has left a lot to be desired. He got him this time, and he might have missed out on getting a catch behind as well.
He did. He nicked it. We'll just see how far perhaps this is over. We'll watch the nick first. And look, Shane Thompson's feet together. I doubt whether he would have heard the call. Look at that there. Well, part of it's on the line, which is still a no ball, but the one prior to that was further over.
A good-looking shot here from Shane Thompson is running away down the park. It should go all the way for 4. It was well timed. Shane Thompson on strike, out there on 18. And he goes for the big shot and hits it rather well through the covers for 4.
And just a little chat too, a little reminder from Wakar Yunus that might not be the end of this little saga, but this is talk about $1 million shot.
Let's see what this one produces. And that's a good looking shot too. Clipped away off his toes. He may get 2. Wasim Akram's in quickly and a good throw. It's touch and go. The third umpire is being called for. There he is, Dickie Bird.
This would be an absolute tragedy if Thompson's out for this. Oh my word. It's a question of when the bails are removed or the stumps are broken. Now it's a bit hard to tell from that angle. Very unusual position for the wicketkeeper. He's jumped up to do everything. Now with the hands, I don't think they've quite broken the stumps yet, and no, he's quite safely home, I think. So everybody waits. The crowd looks up towards the signal, and it's the green one. So it's green for go for Shane Thompson. Turns it going on with his innings, John.
Yes, it's not green for go off the park. It's added a new dimension to cricket. And that's another great shot. That is a beautiful shot. 4 runs. And that was in the air for a little way, but it was well directed, and he's pushed it out through the covers again and picked up another 2. So runs coming thick and fast. And he clips it away square and gets certainly a couple more. A long run for Wasim Akram. So that should produce 3 runs. A very comfortable 3 indeed. Now that's rather a good over from New Zealand's point of view. Not that runs are too relevant, but it hasn't finished yet. Oh, he has a big shot at this one. It's over the top of the slips, and it'll race away for 4. Last ball of the day's play. There's another short one. It whistles through to the keeper.
So there we have a little bit more resistance from New Zealand in their second innings, particularly from Ken Rutherford with 63. Andrew Jones not out on 66, and Shane Thompson there on 37. Bowling for Pakistan, well, wickets all around again. Wasim Akram with 2 for 61. Wakar Yunus just a little expensive by his own standards, 1 for 55. And Raman again, getting rid of Ken Rutherford. So we're heading to day 4 tomorrow. New Zealand still trailing. Welcome to the highlights of the 4th day of the second test between Pakistan and New Zealand, being played at the Basin Reserve here in Wellington. Now going into the day, of course, New Zealand still trailed Pakistan by 184 runs, 6 second innings wickets in hand. The batsmen at the wicket were Andrew Jones on 66 and Shane Thompson on 37. Bad news greeted Pakistan at the ground early on anyway, because the first session of the day was lost due to a combination of bad light and a little bit of drizzle as well. But when play finally got underway just after lunch, it was Atur Rahman bowling to Andrew Jones.
Best ball of the day. Rahman bowling to Andrew Jones. And New Zealand threatening to get a single. They do get a single off the first ball of the day. Good shot by Andrew Jones. The outfield a bit slower now because of the rain, but it has enough on it to get to the boundary. Runs here for Andrew Jones. There is a player down at third man, Wasim Akram, and just the 1 run taken. So Jones has added 6 to his overnight total. Jones edges down into the slips. They should get a single. They will get a single. He was over the top of it, but it was just a little bit streaky. Thompson plays nicely away square of the wicket on the offside. Once again, the outfield showing that it has slowed considerably with the rain. And New Zealand, with that shot from Shane Thompson, moved to 200 for the loss of 4 wickets. Driven by Jones. Good shot down the onside. It's an unprotected part of the ground. And Saleem Malik has a long chase. And the batsmen have 3 runs. Thompson and Jones looking for a second here. May well be leg buyers. We'll have to wait and see. They might have got a little bit of bat on that. Yes, he did. 205 for 4. Wacker to Thompson. And that's 4 runs down to third man. Unprotected while Thompson is facing. And 4 more to Shane Thompson. He goes up to 45.
And that is the end of Andrew Jones. He's been bowled by Akram. And a disaster for New Zealand, with Jones playing back and across and the ball just going past the defences there. And disappointment for Jones and for New Zealand.
Yes, forced off the back foot. Jones loses his middle stump. Good delivery, that one. Slightly short, and Jones falls on the back foot, missing the line of that delivery, and the goal middle and leg stump.
So another outstanding ball from Wasim Akram. He's got 3 wickets for 66 now, and Jones out for 76. It's 209 for 5. Wacker Yunus generating some good pace now. Thompson picking up 1 and taking New Zealand to 212. 212 for 5. Oh, it's a good shot from Blaine. That opens his scoring. Driving down the ground. It'll be a long chase for Rahman, and he'll get it just inside the boundary because it's a bit slower now. And so 3 runs for Blaine opens his scoring. Well, he's driving in the air and he's going to be caught, Shane Thompson. Akram has his 2nd wicket. Rahman makes the catch, and Shane Thompson leaves. He's denied his 50. He's out for 47. There was no movement of the feet at all, just throwing the bat at the ball. And Akram strikes again.
That one played in the air. Shane Thompson losing concentration and playing that one, driving it up in the air straight to Athar Rahman, who has no problem catching that one chest high.
So disappointment for Shane Thompson and disaster for New Zealand. 216 for 6. So here's Akram, the first ball to Matthew Hart. Oh, he's picked it up pretty well, over-tossed by Akram, and Hart gets a couple. They might come back for the 3rd. And the ball with a slow outfield today with the rain doesn't get all the way to the boundary, but they complete 3 runs, and that gets Matthew Hart off the mark. So Akram changing his line. He's going to go around the wicket to Blaine. And Blaine driving. Rahman should have had it, but a sloppy piece of fielding is going to produce more runs for Tony Blaine and for New Zealand. And the ball might not quite get to the boundary. They've completed 3, and Hart will drag Blaine back for the 4th. So it's 223 now for 6. Blaine driving, and that's a magnificent stroke from Tony Blaine. Rahman can chase it, and he might hold it in just before the boundary. They've taken 2, and Blaine's going to come back for the 3rd. So it's 227 now for 6 at the end of the over. Well, Blaine gets a full toss, and he hits it pretty well too. A chase for Shoaib Mohammed, but the ball will get to the boundary, and so Blaine gets another boundary. He is 14 now. It's his 2nd boundary, and he's taken New Zealand to 231 for 6. So Akram decided to change his line. He's going around the wicket to Blaine, and he's lofted him over mid-wicket. That's a lovely shot from Tony Blaine. 2 boundaries in consecutive balls.
This is an edgy-looking shot, and it runs down the 3rd man for 4. Wasim Akram coming around the wicket. Tony Blaine acknowledging. Good Yorker.
Oh, he's got this one away back for a score. He's got 4 runs. It's not a convincing stroke. It looked as though it was supposed to be an off drive. Wasim Akram gets a 5-wicket bag as he bowls Matthew Hart, and it's 244 for 7.
Well, he appears to play inside it. We'll see on replay. Seemed to have it covered. And really, he's just missed that. He hasn't got far enough across to cover his stumps. Played inside the line. Appeared to be a straight ball. And hits the off stump very solidly. Solidly enough to make it come out of the ground. And so Matthew Hart has gone for 7. And New Zealand lose their 7th wicket at 2:44.
Well, he's an amazing character, this Wasim Akram. 5 for 89. Look at the off stump go, wheeling back.
Yes, they talk about it cartwheeling. And that's why these days they make sure that they're blunt. The ends are blunt. They used to have a steel point on them at one stage. Rather dangerous.
Dill's played this away with a fair amount of power on the onside. Big chase for the fieldsman. And 4 runs for Simon Dool. The band of Pakistani supporters here today in the crowd. Lane lifting it away on the onside. He's timed it pretty well. The captain, Saleem Malik, has a long chase. It won't quite make it to the boundary. It certainly would have on the first 3 days. And Lane comes back for his 3rd run.
Oh, it's quicker ball, and Rashid put that down. I'm pretty sure that was an edge. Certainly the reaction from the Pakistan players. Let's have a look at that again.
Yes, we're going to see it's not going to carry the first slip, this.
Ooh, it was a big one, wasn't it?
He covered a lot of ground, but it was a very low catch to his right. It's a great effort, really.
Dool getting another single. He's 6 now. In fact, he'll get more than that, 2 to him. So he goes to 7 and takes the score to 255. Oh, Dool's going in the air, and he's going well over the top. Waka Yunus has been hit hard down the ground for 4. And that really is an astonishing shot. A number 9 batsman hits arguably the fastest bowler in the world straight over his head for 4. So the last ball of the Waka Yunus over. And look what Simon Dool does to it. A bit of width, full backlift, and a real flourish. And the ball bounces and runs over the boundary. These guys are pretty exciting too, as Dickie Bird is going to deny, as he had an appeal from all of the Pakistan players. Well, they're not so sure that he's right, but it doesn't seem to perturb the umpire. Well, there's a big appeal for LBW. Brian Aldridge quickly says no. Well, where else do you look? Did too much, I think he said.
Dool was looking at his bat, but I don't think he got any bat on it. No, he certainly didn't get any bat on that. It might have been saved there that the ball did do quite a lot, and he did start to push forward. Mind you, he hadn't come forward very far.
He certainly hadn't, but it might have hit him outside the line of off stump too. Remember, Akram's bowling around the wicket now. It's a lovely shot from Blaine. He's hit that very well. Straight down the ground for 4. What a good shot. He's hit that pretty well too, and he's going to get a single and keep the strike. In fact, they might even take 2. As Wasim Akram completes the over, it's 267 for 7.
Swinging in to the right-hander, and he's played that one away down to 3rd man. They've gone for 2. That's all they'll get. Interesting looking shot for 4 runs down to 3rd man. He came forward, Tony Blaine, and guided off the front foot. It's a shorter one, but interestingly enough, Wasim Akram is coming off a very short run now. He's into... over of the innings somewhere yesterday.
Wasn't that quick, but it was very well directed, and Tony Blaine showing that he's got a bit of flexibility in the back and he needs it.
And he's hit that in the air. Oh, he's caught. What a good catch by the skipper. So Simon Dool picking the ball up on the half volley, timed it well enough, but a good catch.
Well, Simon Dool's been playing this way throughout all of the series. prepared to take them on over the top. This is a great catch. He's just chipped this up. He's tried for the Yorker. It's almost a half volley, but that's a fantastic catch from Saleem Malik. And isn't he happy? He does half a lap of the park. They all run out towards him. And once again, 6 wickets for Wasim Akram. Dool is gone, 276 for 8.
Danny Morrison quietly strolls out.
Yes, just a chip there. I think he probably thought it was going to clear Saleem Malik, but he had other ideas, and that's a fantastic catch at mid-on.
Did rather well, didn't he? Just picked it up on the half volley, timed it well enough.
But it's been Akram's day, and Waqar Younis just the 1 wicket for 102, very rare.
He swings this one away, and down to fine leg. A no ball called. There's umpire Dickie Bird.
Swings it away, and is it over the head? It is. It's over the fence, in fact. 6 runs. Waqar Younis looked as though he had it under control, but it was sailing over his head for 6.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, he gets back here. Waqar Younis, he's in a little bit from the fence. He goes back, and it cleared him quite comfortably.
Swings it away, and he may just settle for the 1 run here. No, he's going to take 2, in fact. So with those 2 runs, Blaine goes up to 49. It's 286 for 8. Good shot from Danny Morrison. And he takes the single on offer. 81 have been bowled in the innings, 82 coming up. This is, in fact, the 82nd. Good shot from Danny Morrison. Shaikh Mohammed has the chase. And they'll get a couple. They may even consider 3. Morrison certainly wants it. He went for the run in there. And Morrison's got to get himself a run.
Yes, I think it carried. Slip indicating that it may not have. And here we go. The googly just bouncing a little bit more. Yes, he was standing up. That chance was there, all right. Slip just standing too tall.
Opens up Danny Morrison and flicks it away through the onside, or through the offside. Wasim Akram chasing. And when he stretches out, he can throw pretty well, but they got back for 3. It's been stuck on 49 for quite a while, Blaine. And that's the 50 for Tony Blaine. They'll settle for the 1 and a second test half-century for Tony Blaine.
And Blaine's been there nearly 2 hours, but only 73 balls for his 50.
That's going to be 4 runs. He's French cut it, and it's sailed past the keeper for 4. Goes over the top this time, and 1 bounce, bang, 4 runs. And up comes the New Zealand 300.
Gave himself some room there. The front foot went straight down the pitch.
Goes on the onside this time. He'll get another 4. Didn't quite collect it as well, but it's still going out to the fence.
Bit of a field change. We can see a man going back deeper at mid-off. Mid-on still staying up.
He's played that beautifully through the covers. 4 more, 3rd in a row. Nicely turned by Morrison. Should have time to get back for a second, and indeed does.
Oh, Morrison driving and a good shot. Bit of movement before the bowler delivered, and a chase for Saleem Malik, and they'll settle for 2. Well, there's some grit and determination there, and it's very welcome. And the odd bit of luck too, with a fairly rustic heave at that, which produces another couple of runs. Here's Rahman, and Morrison plays a lovely shot to backward point for 4. What a good shot. Now, there was no question about that at all. That was quality. And he's flicking that. He's getting it fine. He's had it down to backward square leg. And that's going to go all the way to the boundary for 4. So Tony Blaine goes to 66.
Gold leaf, for the taste alone. For the taste alone, gold leaf.
वाह, कमाल हो गया। बोनेंजा की किफायत सीरीज में अब एक नई वैरायटी, शलवार सूट सिर्फ 396 रुपए में।
Bonanza, Bonanza, Bonanza.
Bonanza, absolutely world class.
Don't stop the action. Don't stop the motion. Don't stop for chalk ice. Don't stop to take a bite.
Polka Chalk Ice, the only no slip, no drip, no stick, handy chocolate-covered vanilla ice cream bar. So easy to eat, so great in taste.
The taste is right. Polka Chalk Ice, enjoy it to the last bite.
UNIS fans, the brand leader for the past 2 decades, specially designed for high performance. Every year, sales are growing and growing, proving quality, excellent performance and modern designs. Enjoy the cool breeze this summer with UNIS fans, specially designed for high performance.
हबीब बैंक को बेहतर खिदमत का मौका दीजिए। Let Habib Bank serve you better.
वाह, बोनेंजा के एम्ब्रॉयडर्ड शलवार सूट ने तो कमाल ही कर दिया।
तुम अच्छे लगे, हम अच्छे लगे, यही सभी की है पहचान। Bonanza, Bonanza, Bonanza.
Bonanza, absolutely world class.
बच्चे ज्यादा पल जाते थे, बीत गया वो जमाना। आज के दौर के बाद कम बच्चों के साथ, कम बच्चों के साथ।
Everybody's eating Igloo Chalk Ice.
Chalk Ice, Chalk Ice, Igloo Chalk Ice.
Made of pure vanilla and thick chocolate. No other chalk ice can match its taste. So come on, eat your Igloo Chalk Ice with me.
ये घराना जहां जिंदगी की बुनियादी सहूलतें भी पूरी तरह मयसर नहीं, गलत मंसूबे का नतीजा है। घर के वसाइल ही अगर न हो तो इतने सारे बच्चों की पूरी तरह किफालत, न अच्छी हिफाजत और न देखभाल हो सकती है। अपना खानदान अपने वसाइल से ज्यादा न बढ़ाएं। मुफ्त मशवरा और इलाज के लिए करीबी फलाही मरकज, अस्पताल, डिस्पेंसरी और मेडिकल स्टोर से रुजू करें।
Well, Morrison plays it through the gap between third slip and gully. Might not get all the way, although it does seem to have dried out fairly well, and it will. So Morrison goes to 26. And the partnership between the two of them, Blaine and Morrison, has now gone to 54. At better than a run a minute. Oh, he's driving, and he's driving handsomely, and that's a magnificent stroke. So Danny Morrison has now, apart from hurting his back, achieved his best score at Test cricket. Oh, there's Blaine going for a 2, and that's a lovely shot. That's a magnificent stroke. Lovely shot from Tony Blaine. My word, that was just perfection. short, and it's going to go in the gap this time, so that wasn't such a controlled shot, but it's going to bring the same result, and absolutely no pleasure to Wasim Akram. Blaine has gone to 78. So the highest score for Tony Blaine in all first-class cricket is 161. He's got quite a few first-class centuries, and his highest in tests is 78 not out this innings today. Third man's gone in now, and Blaine predictably gets a short ball, which he plays with real acrobatic skill, and that's the end of the over. 3-4-6 for 8 wickets.
Good-looking shot to greet Waka Yunus, pushed out through the covers. Wasim Akram after it, but they'll pick up a couple. There's the skipper, Saleem Malik. Turning it away. This may run away for 4 more. Rahman's racing around, they'll pull it in, but they pick up another 2 runs. Another cut shot down to third man. He should be out. He is out. So Tony Blaine's fine innings comes to an end. He nudges the short one down to third man, and he's on his way.
Well, I'm not sure Tony Blaine realised that the third man had been put back, because he picked up boundaries in the previous over with ease down to third man. And Saleem Malik has snuck a third man back there, and I think Tony Blaine has either forgotten that he's there or not known he's there, because really he has just palmed it straight down to him. So some good cricket from Pakistan, and a good innings from Tony Blaine too. Good resistance, 78, out now 350 for 9.
Richard de Gruen, his first ball, but let's go back to Tony Blaine's dismissal.
Well, he certainly deliberately played this shot in this area. You see, he's just got underneath it and tried to help it down to third man in the area, intentionally played it that way, and I think he just clean forgot that man was waiting down there.
Yes, Basid Ali had been put back after Tony Blaine picked up a couple of 4s in the previous over. And he's played this one well. It'll be touch and go down at fine leg. It runs away for 4. So Richard de Gruen to face Wasim Akram. And he'll get a run. Should get a couple here. But he doesn't want to, Richard de Gruen. He declines the second one. Well played. He's going to pick up a single. So he's a long way back, Waka Yunus, around about 35 to 40 metres as he ploughs in. Oh, struck on the pad, that's out, says umpire Dickie Bird, and that's the end of the test match here at the Basin Reserve. And they shake hands. Danny Morrison, a fine hand from him. Waka Yunus gets the final wicket, and Pakistan have won the test.
Well, little doubt about this decision from Harold Bird. It's full, and it's hitting Danny Morris in front of off stump. No doubt it would have hit Harold Bird, even with a little smile on the face. Says, that's it, that's the end of this test.
So Danny Morrison shakes hands, and Saleem Malik, the skipper, and he's thrilled. So it's all over here at the Basin Reserve. Pakistan have won, and won very well. They've comprehensively beaten New Zealand, but a good fight by the tail enders, Tony Blaine particularly, and Danny Morrison a good hand to finish off with.
So that scoreboard reflects a much better effort from the New Zealand batsmen in the second time around. Contributions from Jones there with 76, Rutherford 63, Thompson 47, Tony Blaine was 78, and Danny Morrison batting at number 10 with 42. Pakistan, well, once again, that man Wasim Akram was in superb form. He was the star performer, 7 for 119. That's bettering his best ever figures of a week ago, and in so doing, he earned himself the second Man of the Match award.
Well, it's the same as the first test, really. Wasim Akram, magnificent bowling performance here again in Wellington. 11 wickets for the match, 7 in the innings, and congratulations. There we are, there's that, and there's the most important piece, the cheque. How did you enjoy bowling at the Basin Reserve as compared to Eden Park?
can't compare. I definitely enjoyed bowling at Eden Park, but here it was more flat wicket and you have to bowl really hard and right in line and length. And it was more harder than the Auckland wicket, definitely.
And 36 overs, I think, in the second innings. That's a heavy workload.
Yes, that is, but in the end, it's a test cricket. You have to do for the team and for yourself as well. And I'm a team man, and I'm going to do anything for the team at any time. If they need me, I'll just bowl as much as I bowled in this innings.
And you obviously enjoy bowling to New Zealand batsmen.
I'm enjoying my bowling because I'm very confident. I'm bowling well, and that's all matters.
Okay, congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
So well done, Wasim Akram once again. And after the match, we spoke to a very happy captain, Saleem Malik.
You must be finding captaincy pretty easy, 2 wins from 2 now.
As I said earlier, when you got bowler like Wasim and Wakar, it's always be very easy to captain the side.
Your thoughts on the Basin Reserve pitch?
Well, it was slow pitch, low bounce, and the only difficulty was to the batsman was short pitch delivery. It's hard to just leave the ball because sometimes it just kept low. So basically it was a batting wicket.
You mentioned your fast bowlers just before. Wasim Akram, 11 wickets. Now, how's his back?
He's okay. He's a strong guy. But I must say he really bowled well. I mean, the all credit goes to our bowler. The pitch like this, it was really, when we were batting, it looks like, if you stay there for a couple of overs, and after that, it's very difficult to bowl out to the batsman.
And any word on a replacement for Asif Mushtaba?
Not really. I don't think. I think he'll be all right within a couple of days.
All right, well, thanks very much for talking to us. Look forward to seeing you at Lancaster Park.
So, all smiles there, Saleem Malik, and why not? A convincing win for Pakistan by an innings and 12 runs. They're now 2-0 up in the series. They can't lose the series, of course, a 3-test series, and that third test begins in Christchurch next Thursday. I hope you can join us for the